It is a very good morning all and welcome along to the Green Light On Racing and Sport podcast, the iconic edition, week number 3, the grand final week of the Australian Cup Series. I've jet set it overseas, so you look over my shoulder, there's a nice couple of little palm tree type ferns. I'm not even sure if that's what they're called, but anyway, it's nice over here, but we had to get up nice and early to catch up with Mickey Ty because he's a busy man back in Melbourne. I've got bugger all to do, but Mickey Ty is absolutely flat chatters. We welcome you, Michael. How's sunny Melbourne going, mate? Because I don't miss it one bit.
It's actually pretty cold this morning, James. So you've done well being over. I love how you just say overseas, like you're in this like top secret location with trees around you that no one can find out where you exactly are.
Yeah, well, do you want to play a game? We'll leave it out to the audience to try and work it out. They can jump on the Green Light On socials, whether it be Facebook or Instagram or whatever it might be. Try and work out where I am. I'll give you a little bit of a hint. I'll lift the iPad. There's a nice little flamingo out the back there. A little thin pool, plenty of sort of greenery, under 10-hour flight from Melbourne. So if you can guess that, Mickey Ty will send you a gift in the mail. Probably not. But because I am overseas, Mickey, I'm not doing... Yeah, you go.
No, I was going to say, I can't hear any gunshots in the background, so I know you're not in Mexico, so that's ruled that out.
I'll tell you one thing, though, speaking of Mexico, my missus has just gone absolutely bananas on eating Mexican food. Like, I think she might have a little bit of Mexican heritage in her bloodlines. If she was a greyhound, you'd think she'd almost is a son of a Mexican greyhound, or daughter of a Mexican greyhound, I should say. I am a little bit tired. I did have a few daiquiris yesterday as well, so we better get this podcast heading in the right direction. It will be a bit of a raw edit now. Quite simply, I'm overseas. I don't want to sit in front of a computer for 4 hours and do editing, so what you get is a pretty much live version, which we don't always do here on the Green Light On podcast. But back to the big racing, 3 Group 1s. I mean, that is an awesome night of racing at the Meadows. You've got an Australian Cup consolation. You've got the Vic Breeders final. It's just going to be awesome fun. We'll start with race number 6. I'll be tuning in from maybe the pool, maybe the massage parlour. I'm not 100% sure yet. But the Fanta Bale Stayers, Box 1 Texas President, Fade to Blacks in 2, Vodka and Ice 3, who was good last week. Irish Millie comes up with 4, Mapunga Lara, who was a little bit of a giant killer last Saturday night, 5, Aiden's Warrior 6, Mapunga Donna 7, Magpie Hector 8, Baffert, who we spoke of last week, who had that market support, 200 to 1 to win the All-In Series. Comes in as number 9, so the dream may be still alive only just if you've got a ticket at the big price, and King Ron is greyhound number 10. Mate, this is a hard way to start. I want to start with Fade to Black before we get to tips. Was he really ordinary last week? It just wasn't the Fade to Black we've come to know in the last 6, maybe 7 months.
Yeah, it did seem flat. I've mentioned this before from a punting point of view. These staying heats, like Kayla would be, you beauty. I've got him through to the final, and all the punters are just, oh God, like they've done their money. So it's one thing to watch out for with these staying heats from a betting point of view. Yeah, it was entitled to be a bit flat, maybe coming back from the queue. Got confidence in the camp; they'll have the dog right. You wouldn't be running if he wasn't. Is he right in the finish? It's one of those probably classic situations. I am jumping off him, but it wouldn't be surprised, as he said, it's a very tricky race this.
It's a nightmare of a race, mate. I sat down, and because I have got a little bit of time, I thought I'd go through a few of these and try and find the winner, and maybe a little bit more than normal. And, mate, I honestly don't know where to look. I think Mapunga Lara might end up being my selection. Drawn box number 5. I just thought her speed last week to lob the way that she did, straight to the front, be outpaced by Aiden's Warrior, but then just move up as if she had gears. I think she can go quicker than that 42.24 that she ran last week, which is a time we don't see too often, let's face it. So I think she's got the class. Actually, I was really keen on her when she went down to Sale, and she took a tumble in that particular race, but she lobbed the perfect position before she fell. So I think she's got it in her artillery to win a race like this. And in a race that is so hard to sort out, I'm just going to have the 5, Mapunga Lara, as the dog on top in a really, really hard, even edition of the Fanta Bale Stayers. What do you think?
I'm looking for value too, Jimmy. And with the same camp, I just thought double-figure odds about Texas President off box 1. Angela said here on this pod last week that he is getting stronger and stronger. I just think with double-figure odds, the inside draw, he's going to be out in front. He really didn't lose by that much, made the wrong decision in the straight, which way he went, left, right, underneath rail. And I just think he can go that one better here, and double figure odds. I'm just happy to work around the favourites. I'm sort of not potting anything here, and I'm guessing you're the same. Anything can win. just leaning towards at double figures off box one for a dog you know is probably going to be out in front if Fades of Black maybe shifts off the track. Vodka and Ice begins well. Normally in Wentworth Park, didn't begin as well last week here, but still won. So I'm factoring him right in the finish too. 1, 3, 2, and 8. Really, really tricky race.
Yeah, really tricky. I think the way that a lot of punters, and you might be the same, Mick, the way you go about it when you start off with a race, it's like a blank canvas. You start to go, well, how can I get to finding the winner? Some races, the winner just jumps off the page, whether it be a big performance last start, once the inside draws the inside, things like that. But a race like this, you generally try and start by, taking out dogs that you don't think can win the race. And for me, when I sat there, I'll be honest, on last week's runs, the only dog that you might say might struggle to win it, Fade to Black and Irish Millie, and yet Fade to Black's probably going to be one of the favourites and arguably the best dog in the race. So it is a nightmare, that race. Is that how you like to do form, Mickey? Do you try and process of elimination work your way back sometimes?
Yeah, absolutely. Just put a pen through a few of them, especially on the provincials. I tend to find you can narrow it down to a few and then go from there. But this is a race, like to be honest, even Irish Millie, if there were some of these dogs were up front and there was a bit of bumping and toing and froing, Irish Millie could be set up to run over the top late, building into fitness. Nothing would surprise me here.
The F in the quaddy leg, I think, would be our advice. Put the field in and hope for a roughie to get home. I don't think there'll be a massive roughie in the race, but good luck. Sportsbet Rookie Rebel final, Group 1, race 8 on the program. 9 o'clock, 75,000 to the winner, 1 Ascend Geranium, 2 Miss Envy, 3 Vista Weird, 4 Valenzuela. Bit of a surprise to see him ran down last week. Paul Petrov, 5, Echoes of Dad, who made a statement last week. I want to chat about that. 7 He's Magic, 8 Day Sees Rory, reserves Paul Vortex, Nigel DeVere. I want to chat firstly about Echoes of Dad because I think he deserves his place based on what he did last week. He's a greyhound clearly that has a massive engine. He's running fast time, but does it defeat the purpose of having a Rookie Rebel Prelude when you pick a greyhound that went the easy way and went after a grade 5, could run 34 O's, but there's less pressure in that race? Now, you could argue a greyhound like Electrify, if he doesn't go to the Rookie Rebel Prelude, just goes to a grade 5, he'd look like King Kong, and he comes out, he runs 34.10. Do you then pick him? So is it completely not worth having a Rookie Rebel Prelude?
Oh, this is going to be a very long answer, so I'll probably have to save it for another time. I think maybe there needs to be another Rookie Rebel Prelude, maybe on that first night, because just that one, it's forced a couple of dogs to maybe change plans that wouldn't maybe necessarily have gone that route. Like an Electrify, it was up at the queue and he was forced to race on that Wednesday night to get that run into him because there wasn't that run on that first night, and obviously didn't want to go for the Australian Cup heats. Would he have ran 34.10 in that rain? Yes, in my opinion. So Echoes of Dad was awesome nonetheless. It did have a great map, and Webb Lake Memphis did a lot of the grunt work for him early, and he had the capability to run that time, and nothing went wrong for him, and he got it. I think you probably had to put him in based on the time that was run, but I agree with you. But I think the answer is another Rookie Rebel Prelude.
Yeah, I think you might be onto something, and I think that it might just be that the Rookie Rebel Prelude, they even do top 2 in the first Rookie Rebel Prelude, top 2 in the second get automatically through, and then it gives you a chance, to have 2 cracks at getting into the Rookie Rebel if you're not a greyhound like a Miss Envy that sort of already picks herself, because that maybe might be half the field. There was a bit of chatter too around Dacey's Rory getting a start going into box number 8 in this race. I can see why people are saying maybe he shouldn't be there because he's got no 600 metre form, but I also like the fact that you can sit there as the person organising the field or the group organising the field and going, would this race be better with Paul Vortex in it, or would it be better with Dacey's Rory? And I think we know the answer is Dacey's Rory.
We do. And how Paul Vortex got first emergency ahead of several of those other names that missed out is beyond me, but that's another time, another place. But Dacey's Rory's a superstar, deserves his spot in the field. The idea of the Rookie Rebel being on this third night was to allow some of these dogs maybe ready to step up. Dacey's Rory's been a champion dog for over a year. Tommy Savalas and Todd O'Neill wouldn't have him in if they didn't think he could run the distance. Do I have him in my top couple of numbers? Not necessarily off the draw, but obviously they didn't know what draw they were going to get when they put him in.
Yeah, 100%. Look, it's an interesting race. I think Miss Envy, at the moment, it feels like there's no standout 600 metre dogs that are in this race, barring what Miss Envy's been able to do in the past. Now, we haven't seen her race for a while. She's been sparingly raced since the sort of the Melbourne Cup series where she was super on that 29th of November, 33.59, and just ran sectional data through GRV's race data in the Melbourne Cup heat, despite being beat, was off the charts. So I think she's the greyhound that comes into this that just screams out, I'm the best dog in the race. So there's that little concern she hasn't been in a race since the 22nd of Jan, but you get the feeling you got her back in the Shinners camp, which I'll be doing, and I'll be with Miss Envy box number 2. I just think class will rise to the top. Another hint, I think, just given away as to where my location might be. Scooters, sort of little motorbikes, hammering around the streets very, very loud. You might have heard a little bit of that. But, Mickey, what do you think, mate? Race 8, the Rookie Rebel. Are you with Miss Envy, the proven star, or are you going an echoes of Dad, who knows, based on last week, what he might end up being?
I'm declaring one here, James. I'm going all in here on that is number 2, Miss Envy. I just think she's an absolute champion. I'm happy to back in a champion here, sparingly raced. I don't care. She trialled brilliantly here on Monday as well. I think she has been set this race for a few weeks now. Scott box 2, she should hug the rail. Ascend Geranium, she should be able to clear him. Vista Weird's going to want to hook out slightly. Valenzuela probably want to hook out slightly. I just think she gets every chance to find the top. I'm happy to back in a champion greyhound here and declare Miss Envy. I just think she wins. Ascend Geranium, I think, can run a cheeky race here, just off the inside draw. Maybe a same race multi here, Miss Envy to win, Ascend Geranium top 4, something like that. 2, 1, 6 and 8. I couldn't be any more keen, Miss Envy. The rest of the field doesn't really matter, in my opinion, on who was picked, who wasn't picked, because Miss Envy's just going to win anyway.
Wow. I haven't seen confidence ooze out of Mickey Ty since we had some vision of him in business class flying to the US. That is crazy. Envy, yeah, look, I'd be 2 from either the 3 or the 4, and the 1 Ascend Geranium, I think, was really good last week, was the one hitting the line in that prelude. Yeah, Miss Envy, it does look mighty, mighty hard to beat. And Mickey, I haven't seen you ooze confidence like that in a long, long time. Let's go to the Oz Cup consolation. Dashing Sleigh 1, Ethanol Secret 2, Giacomo, box number 3, Zelda Cavilla 4. 5 a vacant draw. Couldn't get a full field in the consolation, which is interesting. Aston Rainer 6, Avengement 7, Neo Devere. Goes into box number 8, Dashing Sleigh. I mean, she probably would have been one of the favourites for the Oz Cup if she got through. Misses by a bees, you know what? And from box number 1, this should be her race.
No, not necessarily. I'm going a little bit wider here, James. Finally, Avengement has got a wide draw.
Yeah.
So that's how I'll be playing. He'll stay out wide and he'll give the big kick late here, and hopefully a lot of the grunt work can be done early in this event with Aston Rainer peeing, crossing to the lead, and that'll just open up a ton of space for Avengement. Where does that leave Dashing Slade? Maybe she'll need to hook out at some point, and that could be costly. I'm just thinking Avengement can just explode here. This dog's ready to win a big race, and the Jeff and Angela have been in form, and their dogs are firing out of the lids as well. So I'm with number 7, Avengement.
Other plus for you, Mick, is Aston Rainer will jump, Giacomo will jump, and they will go to the rail. And as you say, that is the concern. Dashing Sleigh might have to flick over heels, but I don't know. Sometimes the cream rises to the top, and Dashing Sleigh, her last couple of starts, she's 3rd run back. I mean, she should just be, I don't know, chomping at the bit, ready to win, ready to have a strawberry daiquiri, that type of setup. Race 9, number 1, Dashing Sleigh for me, but I can see why he'd go Avengement. Just on Avengement, mate. Last week, when he rolls through from box number 1 and leads, you think this is curtains, and then he just leaves the rail, and Dramatical somehow gets the greatest run you've ever seen.
Exactly, and look at the 2 dogs that were either side of Avengement in that run. He had Dramatical underneath him and Slick Splits to his outside. What a great form line.
Well, let's get on to the big one. Sportsbet Oz Cup. It's worth $440,000 total prize money, $300K to the winner. I mean, that's life-changing figures. Box 1, Dramatical. 2, Cleo Star. 3, Consigliere. First week I called it Consigliere. Did a little bit more research, and they're going with Consigliere. 4 is Irish Bill. 5, Slick Split. 6, Poor Oswald. 7, Mavrico. And number 8, Mapunga Award Reserve, Dashing Sleigh, Neo Devere. Again, nightmare of a race. We'll go through them quickly one by one. Dramatical, he was outstanding last week. How he finds the runs that he finds, and he's done it 2 weeks in a row, you'd have to argue it's no longer luck. He's worked out how to race. He's come of age. He could not have drawn any better. This is his chance to win an Oz Cup. If he drew box 8, he's probably a $15 chance in my mind, but from the red, he's a real genuine player.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's just probably a matter of what number two Cleo Star does early. Is there a chance that she could cut him off and he reacts negatively to that? Not sure. This dog's got such a barge factor. He could just go, no, 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 I'm pushing through anyway with that stiff tail.
Hmm.
So yeah, he's got a sensational draw. And yeah, number two Cleo Star. I think she's going to need to do everything right out in front to win. This is another race that's so tricky, and there's a million variables here. But Purcell's got to train to the minute here. I think she can be right on the finish with that early luck.
Yeah, fifth run back. That's the key, I think, for Cleo Star. I mean, she's going to be at the peak of her powers. She's drawn box number 2. She's been lucky with the draw. She's drawn 1 in the heat, 1 in the semi, 2 in the final. So sometimes you need those things to go your way. And look, Cleo Star, although she may not be an absolute superstar of the sport, she's a 29.7 dog with a 5.05 at the first peg. And that sort of screams out, I can win a race like the Oz Cup. Number 3, Conciliary. This is another dog, a little bit like Dramatical. I think he had an enormous ability from day one. We saw that in Sydney. He was a little bit up and down. You get the feeling 18 starts in. He's had a couple of trips to Melbourne, back up to Clover Park, back to Jason Thompson now. And he's another one. I just feel he's coming of age at exactly the right time. Box number 3, again, I think he couldn't have drawn any better.
Yeah, I agree. I've only got him in for fourth. That's how good a race this is. You know what a big fan of this dog I am. Just from a map point of view, just that kind of little bit unpredictable on where he's going to be when they sort of hit the winning post for that first time around. Where's he going to be positioned in such a competitive race with high pressure? Is he suited to that, or is he suited to something slightly easier at this stage of his career? Anything's possible with this dog. I just love the way he's just snuck his way into the final. Team Thompson factor. He's going to be right in the finish.
There's upside, no doubt about that. Irish Bill drawn box number 4. I just get the feeling he had his chance last week, and if he couldn't win sitting up on the outside of Mavrico, he's going to find it harder in an Oz Cup final.
I think he needs a bit of chaos up front for him to win, and then gets that chance to maybe sail around the outside. Got a bit of a freak factor about him, this dog. And to show you how good a race this is, he's probably the one I'd have ranked last, but I wouldn't be shocked if he won if something abstract in the run happened to the leaders.
And if it was a month ago, he was probably just about the shortest price of all of these to win the race. So it's interesting. Slick Split's drawn box number 5. I reckon he was the run of the semis. He had no right to run as close as he did to Dramatical. How he did, I still don't know. And we know that he can hit the start, this dog. And I think he's got the right draw if he is going to hit the start. But in saying that, he's got speed underneath. He's got speed on the outside. He's got strength inside, outside. Like it's a speed map that's just about impossible to predict, to be fair. And he's just flying, though. That's one thing you do know and you can count on.
Yeah, you're just banking on him jumping like he did when he won those Group 1s over the track and trip. I think it was the best losing run of any dog in Australia this year. It was just sensational, that run. Like, he had no right to reel in Dramatical from what happened to him earlier in the race. I just thought he was sensational. He's the king of these Meadows sprint trips, due for a bit of a change of luck here. I think he can win.
Poor Oswald, box 6, just consistent. You know what you're going to get with him. Do you give him a chance?
Absolutely a chance. It's one of those races that you genuinely feel awful when I didn't have him in my top 4, because that's how well he's going. I thought he was sensational in the heat run. He's probably been the most consistent dog in Australia for the last 4 or 5 months, but such is the depth of this heat. And add box 6 into the equation with Mavrico to his outside, and I'm just coming up with more negatives than positives. But again, wouldn't be bowled over if he won.
A little bit the same with Mavrico. I think if he drew 1, 2, 3, I tip him on top. Box 7, it's in the lap of the gods. I think that's what they say. He's going to need things to go right, but gee, he's come of age, another one, and he is redlining at exactly the right time.
Yeah, chasing like a demon was the words Johnny Barber said on Saturday night. I thought he was the big loser of the box draw. To be honest, I was quite upset seeing him get box 7, because I really want to see Johnny Barber win a big race like this. And I just thought the draw has cruelled him here. And he's probably going to need to really, really explode out, lead, and have some trouble behind it. I just can't see him crossing. He might cross, say, 3 of the dogs, but then the other 3 he might not cross, and that's going to be enough to kind of keep him posted. And I just don't think he can win. I'm really sad to say, because the Meadows will explode if he wins.
You only had to see the photos post-race. I mean, the first week there was probably 15 to 20 in the cheer squad. Last week there was maybe 80. This week they were predicting about 4,000 if he drew an inside draw. But no, we do wish Jared Fry, obviously the star Group 1 winning hoop, I think he's out on the injury list at the moment on the bench, and we wish him well, and obviously Andrea and Johnny Barber as well. It's a great story for them to be through, and to be honest, I'd love to see him win. Mapunga Award draws box number 8, and although he wants to be out in the middle of the track, Mick, I think he is going to find this really, really tough. Like he's going to have to do something almost. I don't know, like what do they call them? Like not a transformer, but he's going to have superpowers, that type of thing.
Well, he just might, James, because he's just that sort of dog, isn't he? Notice how Angela sort of said it's like he's got a jockey on him. I think she said he's just got so many race smarts. I just think the better the Maverico jumps, the more it increases the chances of Mapunga Reward to win this. Because I think he'll be able to maybe get that spot on the outside, and he'll be happy to sail around. He won't care. He's got good race smarts. I think he's right in the finish off the map, even off box 8, because this dog just finds a way.
Well, on that, let's get to tips. I'm one Dramatical on top. I just think the inside draw is going to be such a key in such an even race. I've gone 5 slick splits for second. If you get a price, I'd have something small each way on him. He'll probably be the bet of the race if he's $6-7. I've got him marked $7 in the form guide at the moment. For third, look, I think you could go any of the other 6 to be fair, but I was tossing up between Cleo Star and Conciliere. Now, the obvious there is the inside draws, I think, are the key to this race, and because of that, I'm with Dramatical off the inside draw.
I've got Dramatical in for third. My numbers are 5, 8, 1, and 3. I was just infatuated with Slick Split's run in the semi-final. I really was. Just he's the king of the meadows over this group race, 5:25. Got him in to win. Mapunga Award for second, number 8. I just think if Maverico jumps, he'll get that semi-decent card across, and then in the back half of the race, he can use his race smarts to thunder home, and it's just a matter of whether he can get up or not, and Jeff and Angela's kennel been flying the last few weeks. 1 Dramatical win for third. Absolutely can win, just it's that hotter race, and 3 Conciliere for fourth, sorry.
I like it from you, Mickey. I love it, mate. I think Slick Splits is definitely a play. The other hint that I'm going to give to the punters out there, just before we get to our best bet for the meeting and wrap up this podcast, where I am, it's actually not legal to have a punt. So I've got the itches at the moment. I can't bet. That's another hint to the location that I might be. But because of that, Mick, I need to know what price Miss Envy is.
270 into 240.
Okay, so that 270 to 240, that looks like a trademark Mickey Ty move. Best bet for the program, I'm going race 12, number 5, Electrify. This field of 6 just plays into his paws. I think he's going to be an absolute superstar over 700 metres, and he's going to start that campaign right here at the Meadows on Saturday night.
Yeah, I'm keen on Electrify as well. But when I'm declaring one in the Rookie Rebel, that's going to be my best bet, race 8, number 2, Miss Envy, and probably second best of the nights in the consolation, number 7, Avengement, which is in race number 9, number 7.
This screams out a dirty green light on, iconic week number 3 Oz Cup Carnival multi, and we're going to go Electrify into Miss Envy and just reap the rewards responsibly, of course, gamble responsibly. But Mickey, thanks again to you, mate. Big 3 weeks. I know you've got to shoot off and do some work now, so we appreciate you jumping on. And to be honest, I'm going to jump in the pool, have maybe a nice little soft drink, and then go back to bed for a couple of hours. So thanks for your time, Mickey.
Good on you, James. Thanks, mate.
What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call 1-800-858-858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.